often my clients ask me to, early doors clients will say, but actually ask me to explain the whole process to her. And I kind of thought, okay, so it starts a long time before the actual construction, and it can take up to a year before you even get to site. And that can be a little bit hard to hear sometimes, that it can take that long. By the time that you engage an architect and you meet 3 to 4 architects, and it's a really important thing to do, and then you go through the consultancy process with them, and you then do effectively a tender analysis of their fees in comparison to each other and their services, and what they actually are really in terms of services. And this can change. Sometimes this can change, because what you can see is I'm on one project at the moment, and the project leader, extraordinary woman, is sick. So she's it's been taken over by another architect, and his specialty is more design project. So things change, which is fine. So that's the first phase, the design phase, and you agree. Then once you go through the design phase, then you should, I think, bring in a quantity surveyor. One architect I work with very closely is very good at this. Some of them aren't. Some of them are biased in the process, and they want you to go to planning because that's where they make a lot of money on their fee structure. So, and that's fair enough. That's transparent. We all know it. Then you have planning submissions, waiting period, possible revisions once you go to planning, and that can take time. That can all take time. And then once you go through planning stage, then you're kind of getting into a little bit more of a detailed drawings, and you're getting into cost plans then after that. And you want that to be as detailed as possible, the cost plan. The more detailed it is, the better, because the more accurate it can be. The bits that are going to be missing in terms of accurateness are going to be structural, client finishes as well, but huge, and client finishes, structural, and often exterior works to get expanded, mechanical specifications, and electrical. The building works don't tend to. So I now do a vendor list for clients, so they can go out and start to get real sums and try to keep it as accurate as possible, and to empower them to actually become part of the management of the money process even earlier on. And it just it solidifies a mindset for the project. That's the real benefit for me in that. Then going to the tender stage is stage 5. The drawings are issued. Drawings are issued with a bill of quantities. That's what I recommend, because if you send out a bill of quantities, you got more chance of people tendering. So I'm doing the job, I was doing the job, and the clients decided not to put out a bill of quantities. So they went to 6 builders, and they got 2 returned. One of them was a 1-page document, and one of them was a full tender. The problem that they're now in, the guy with the 1 page is the cheapest one, and they've got no comparisons. They don't have a comparison between me at the tender stage with a filled in bill of quantities. They don't have a comparison really between the other tenders, because there's so much information missing. And if they want to go and do this again and go back out to tender, they have to go to different builders, and they're another 2 or 3 months down the road because of that decision, which is appropriate if that's the way they want to go. But things can be rushed, and they can be rushed too much, too fast. So If things are aligned, they can be done slowly but efficiently first time around. And then you're into construction phase. Once the tender is awarded, once tender analysis is done, once the contractor is verified, once the subcontractors are verified as well, especially for sale, registered and alignment with grants, and managing that process. And then there's a retention period of about 12 months, depending upon the amount, where snags are done after 6 or 7 months. And upon this stage, then the homeowner retains throughout the project 5%, at the finish of the project 2.5% upon practical completion, and the homeowner retains that for, used to be set into a separate account, a retention account, but that is then kept for the period of 6 to 12 months, depending upon the project, the architect. And then once snags are done, that's then released to the builder. Some builders won't agree to it, so it can be a little bit tricky. Some builders won't agree to it. And in a buoyant economy where builders have a fair bit of work, that needs to be negotiated carefully. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.